Good morning and welcome to Vocal Intuition Live. I'm hoping that I'm going to get a few people on this morning to chat to. So if you're out there watching, then do make yourself known and we can have a bit of a chat about the things that I'm going to say. I'm Anne Leatherland, in case you don't know me, and I'm a vocal trainer and also a personal growth coach. And I work with professional voice users. That means anyone who uses their voice from day to day as part of their job or their profession. So, of course, that will include people like singers and actors and professional speakers, but also business people who will be using their voice quite extensively in terms of what they're doing from day to day. And today I decided that I would talk about the word intuition. You'll notice it's part of my branding name, Vocal Intuition. And sometimes people say, well, what does that really mean? And that got me thinking. So I thought I'd have a little bit of a chat about that today. If you're watching on catch up, then please do like and share for me. And again, if you're watching in the background there, please do join me because it's nice to have a few comments as we go along. So intuition then, it's a kind of an instinct, isn't it? You might describe it as a gut feeling. It's something that we get from deep within and it's not conscious. Well, what's that got to do with your voice? Well, your voice is very much a part of you, and probably what you do with your voice from day to day will be very instinctive and intuitive to you. And that's great. It's very much linked to yourself and the presentation of yourself and the giving of your message to other people. But sometimes things get in the way and we think that we have that gut feeling or that we're responding in an intuitive way, and we're actually not. We're actually in the grip of our fears or beliefs about ourselves, and those things sort of get in the way of our true instinct, our true intuition, and being free to express who we really are. New skills, when we want to develop them, need to become automatic as well when we're thinking about voices. So we want those to become part of our automatic response, part of our intuition. So if you're struggling with anything in your voice at the moment and you're trying to do something new with it, you might find that those things are not necessarily intuitive to you to start with. In other words, you still have to think about them. They're not part of your unconscious competence, if you like. Now, intuition, I know, is far more than that, but I'm making the link just because I think it's important here. When we're working with voices, we're very often thinking about skills, and it's that thinking sometimes that can derail us in terms of being able to use them automatically. And that, of course, is where practice comes in, which is something I'll be talking about in a few minutes. So let's have a think about how we can grow this intuition then. It's really what I'm all about as a trainer, but I want to just share this little graphic with you so that you can understand where this is coming from. To start with, we need to create a vision. From there, we can build an awareness and recognition of what's going on in our voice and in our intuitive process. Then we may need to challenge some assumptions that we have in order to move, in order to grow, move somewhere new. We know this, don't we, from our everyday lives? And that will involve taking some risks. If we can do all of those things, then we will have growth, we will have a new skill. So let me go through each one of these in detail so that we can say a bit more about them. So first of all, creating a vision. Well, visions are powerful things, aren't they? And I want you to think now, where do you want to go with your voice? Close your eyes if need be and just think about it. Where do you want to go with your voice? What do you want it to be like? What do you want to be able to do? How do you want people to receive your message, whether that's sung or spoken or in terms of teaching? in terms of speaking to clients. It doesn't really matter. How do you want people to receive that message? And just visualize that. Imagine yourself doing it. Imagine what it will be like, how it will sound, how you'll feel about it. This may take you some time to do, so I'm just making the point that we can create a vision of what we want for ourselves and our voices. From there, we need to move into awareness and recognition. So, what are some of the things that we might need to take on board or improve in order to get towards making that vision a reality? Now, this is where you may need somebody like me to help you if you're not used to listening to your own voice, or even if you are, sometimes an objective opinion can help you to do that. How do we then do those things? So once we've gained that awareness, what are the steps that we need to take to make the vision happen? And how can we put a plan together? So that's a really important phase of developing this thing called intuition. And it may seem not very intuitive at the moment, but it's an important point if you're having to move somewhere new, to make something unfamiliar become part of what is intuitive, if you like. Number 3 then was challenging assumptions. You may have a belief that you can't do a certain thing. So what if we reframe that belief into, what if I could? So instead of, oh, I can't make that sound, or I can't engage people, I can't stand up and speak, stroke, sing, I can't teach people effectively, I get too nervous. But what if I could? Here's a point. Past negative experiences don't necessarily have to be repeated. So you might be thinking to yourself, yes, but when I tried this before, X, Y, or Z happened. But X, Y, or Z doesn't always have to happen. That's just the way our brain, our voice in the head, works with us to try and protect us. So we can do the what if exercise. If I could do that, what would I do? If I could do that, what would it be like? And that then starts to feed into your vision and fit into the steps that you've made for yourself to allow you to move forward. Finally, then, there's taking risks. Let's face it, speaking or singing in front of others is a risky thing. We do risk ourselves, don't we? We risk being accepted, we risk being judged, no end of other things that you can think about. And your brain will tell you that, the voice in your head will tell you that. But if you run with that, then you're back to avoidance again and maybe not moving from where you are. And so the new things don't become intuitive, they're too risky, if you like. Now, the acceptance thing is a very primeval thing. I think I said it last week. On a primeval level, if we're not accepted, then we might be in danger, and our brain will try and tell us that. But what if they don't like you? What if they don't like what you say, or the way you speak, or the way you sing? What then? Well, we have to be open to new things and override that voice in the head. And there are ways that we can do that. Scary is okay. Come alongside it. It's okay to feel that's a bit nerve-wracking. There's also a challenge in, well, I'm okay as I am. Well, why not take the risk to see if you could be even better? If not, fair enough. But maybe there are things you could do which you are assuming aren't there that you could actually use to enhance what you do with your voice. And once you've actually taken those on board, then you get growth. You get a new skill. And you can feel that it's making a difference. Now, hours and hours of working with people have taught me that that's fine, but then there needs to be practice. There needs to be repetition. Speaking to yourself in a positive way needs repetition. Doing the physical things with your voice that your trainer has helped you with need repetition. And that way, those things can be embedded. both in your mind, in your body, and your voice, in yourself, if you like. When you get to that point where you don't need to think about them consciously anymore, and you're happy with them, and you're happy that you can use those skills to express yourself to others, then essentially you can start to use your voice intuitively in a different way. And that, in a nutshell, is why my company is called Vocal Intuition, because I'm aiming to help you develop that in your business and in your teaching, in your singing, in your acting, in your everyday speaking, whatever it happens to be. So I hope you've enjoyed this little presentation this morning. We didn't have anyone on to chat, which is a shame. But if you do watch in retrospect, please like and share for me. I have a brand new website actually at the moment, so I'd be really grateful also if you're interested, if you could go along to that and have a look. It's just ticking along the bottom now, hopefully. It's anneleatherland.co.uk, and it explains more fully what it is that I do and how it is I could help you. So if you are interested, get in touch, and I'm always happy to have a chat with people. My main aim in life is to help people to do better with their voices, but also be happier in themselves, that they're expressing themselves fully and authentically in doing that. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for joining me, and bye for now.